What's up? What's up? What's up? Trash talking with the old heads. You know what it is. We say what the hell we want to say on a weekly basis. I'm your host, Dante. Thank you for joining us again today. I got my boy with me, Greg C. What's happening, bro?
What it do, baby? No excuses. Play like a champion. Play like a
And
champion.
hey, normally we get the response from that boy JW, but again this week, he's playing like
Not
a
play.
loser. He
He
playing
ain't
like a
playing like
loser.
a champion. That's for damn sure. He
Damn
definitely
sure
not
ain't
playing
playing
like a
like a
champion.
champion. Got a little cough and he out again.
Hey, and what we said last week, his boy, his favorite player is Michael Jordan. Last week was supposed to be his flu game. I thought, okay, he was going to rebound, be ready to go this week again.
Man,
No flu game appearance. You are
man,
letting you're letting the spirit of Michael Jordan down.
and not
That's what
even
he's
that, bro.
doing.
The whole old heads come to work, bro.
Hey,
We go to work, bro. If
rain,
we don't do
sleet, and
nothing else, we
snow.
go to work, bro.
Nose snotty, sniffling, allergies, back pain.
But we gonna be
We
there.
come in. We
I'll
clock
be there.
in when we're supposed to clock in.
We clock in when we supposed to clock in. That's the word right there, bro. We clock in when the hell we supposed to clock in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Not playing like a champion.
not playing like a champion at all, but he'll be back, man. And again, we'll be back in the
Will
studio.
he?
Well, the studio ain't gone.
Will he be back?
Hey, bro, we're assuming, bro. You know what I'm saying? All we can do is assume, kind of like Christian McCaffrey and my Niners. I'm assuming he gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? To
What
form. You know what I'm saying?
he playing like John Morant right now. That's who he
Oh
playing like.
boy, ooh, always on the injury report, bro. Always. Hey, but we got a lot to get into. But before we do that, bro, hey, couple things. Hey, we will be back in the studio for all of those fans out there. We going back to the studio. Hey, setting some new things up. We will be back in the studio. Bear with us. Don't worry about it. We will get back to it. But hey, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. YouTube, Trash Talking with the Old Heads. We appreciate all the support. We're trying to roll towards that 1,000 subscribers, and we definitely appreciate all the support so far. You know we got to kick this thing off, though, G. Your
Yeah.
boy, Shedeur, he did that Shedeur slide last night. You know what I'm saying? The one that everybody kind of predicted might happen. What's your thoughts on it? And do you think it was warranted, the slide? Do you
Man, I okay. So as we've discussed Shedeur Sanders a lot,
a
you know,
lot?
especially since the end of at the during the season, at the end of the football season, heading up leading up to the draft. And my stance was, I'm not sold on him being a franchise quarterback. I didn't see this guy's gonna lead my franchise from day one. Now, could he eventually turn into a franchise quarterback after getting some seasoning? Maybe it's doing some arm strengthening, going through, where he can get his velocity up on his passes. I don't know if that's inherent, if that's something that you can improve, at this stage in your career. Um, the boy's accurate. He's tough. I think, by all accounts, he's, can read defenses, can process information fairly quickly, but it didn't. To me, the tape just didn't show it. So the slide, I don't necessarily think he should have jumped out around one. I think the Steelers, I don't know what they're thinking about with waiting on Aaron Rodgers to sign, and even if Aaron Rodgers signed, he's a 1 year rental. Why not get a guy in place? But I think some of the reports I heard today was that they had the guy as the next Kenny Pickett. They had him rated as Kenny on the Kenny Pickett
Ooh.
spectrum of talent. I
Ooh.
don't know if that's a fair assessment or not. Um,
What
but
do
at
you
any rate,
who's your comp for him?
I
What do
didn't.
you see when you see him? I see more Kirk Cousins, kind
I
of.
told y'all who I see him as coming out of college. I don't
Oh,
know what I see in the pros. I
oh,
seen him as Jameis Winston. Now, whether that warranted a number one pick because Jameis went first,
but
you
Jameis
know
got
what
an
I'm saying?
arm
But
though.
huh?
Jameis has an arm though.
Well, you saying that he was worse than Jameis, so you agree with me?
I see more Kirk Cousinish as a pro. You know what I'm saying? I see Kirk Cousins. Or I saw one the other day that I liked Jared Goff without the height. That kind of arm, that kind of, you know what I'm saying? got the little pocket presence. I see Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins. That's who
Jared Goff,
I
Kirk
kind of see.
Cousins.
That's kind of what I
That's
see.
what is that his ceiling or is that
I
his
think that's the ceiling for him, bro.
that's
I
his
think that's as
mean?
high as he can get. But you look at it, Kirk Cousins got paid. So had Jared Goff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? A good NFL caliber quarterback. He can read defense. I mean, all we can go off is what we're seeing him play. I'm not an expert.
So
We don't watch all the all 22 and all that. But just watching him play, it looked like he can process defenses. You
all
know what I'm
right.
saying?
So here's the question, and this I can I you know I can see where you're going with his comparison, right? You know what I'm saying? But if you were to draft those guys knowing their ceiling, would you draft them in the first round?
It depends on what I have now. If I'm
But
Cleveland,
again,
I'm
so if
Cleveland, and I'm thinking about going into this season with Kenny Pickett, would I have drafted him at one or no?
I'm
But
saying too, if we talking first round, and you see
yeah,
players that
late
are
first round, yeah,
that's
I would.
higher on your draft board. You
Yeah,
got
if
players
that's if
higher
my
on your
option is
draft board.
between him and Kenny Pickett, and in the late first round, yeah, give me Shedeur all day long. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day. Or if I'm the Giants and I'm moving back up, him or Jackson Dart, give me Shedeur all day.
Now that was surprising because we didn't when we did our mock draft, we didn't have anybody trading up and
Right.
trading
We
back
didn't do
into
any
the
of
first
that.
round.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I could see Detroit. I mean, not Detroit, but the Giants. I would have him over Jackson Dart, but they didn't.
Right.
They
Right.
didn't. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now we'll get into why some
I
of
say
that may
right. Is
be.
it more right? Is it was it more? I guess my thing
Was it
is
more talent or was it more of
talent
the
or was it
narrative that had been
more
created
right?
around Shador? But before we get into that, I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, because I wouldn't, if I got a guy rated as in comparison to Jared Goff or in comparison to Kirk Cousins at their best, I think I can get that guy in the second, third round. If I had on my draft board and I had in my on my scouting report and how I had him graded, if I didn't have him graded higher than another position of need, then yeah, I would take a chance and try to get him in a later round. And if you're hearing that other teams are not high on him either, or don't need a quarterback, there are only a few teams
Yeah, it was
in
only
need
a
of a
few. After
quarterback
last year, there
now.
were only a few, right? With all the
So
QBs
you
that
knew,
were taken last
yeah,
year.
you
Yeah.
knew after the first three picks and then moved to the Saints that he was not getting picked before the Steelers pick, which was 21.
Right.
And so that was shocking to me. I was like, okay, if he get to 21, Steelers more than likely would get him because of the predicament that they're in. They don't have a quarterback on their roster other than Mason Rudolph,
And the
a
thing,
retread that they gave
right,
up
right. The thing with
a
him now,
couple years
it
ago.
seemed like I think they got. I think they still have an idea that Aaron Rodgers is going to be their quarterback for real. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're
Could
looking.
be.
I don't think they're
Even
going to
still
draft.
though.
I don't think
Right.
they're
And
going to draft.
so
My thing is
I
if Cleveland does not take him with one of the two second round picks they have early in the second round, I think he has a longer slide coming. I really do.
I think the Steelers would go back if the Steelers had a second round pick, I think they'd get him.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't have one. So
They
that's
don't
why
have a second round pick.
mm-mm. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
So if
Lord.
Cleveland doesn't take him with one of those two early picks that they have in the second round, when does his slide stop?
Let me look at the second round. Let's pull that up. Let's pull that up.
I got it right here. That's what I'm
Pull
saying.
up
So
that second round. What teams are left on the board that would need? Yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? The Browns got the
that's what I'm
first
saying.
the
Right,
first two picks in the top four picks of the second round.
right.
Uh the Colts.
I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they
What
really
about the Jets? The Saints?
this. What's their pick in a second?
8.
I could
You
see.
got the Saints, you got the Jets. I don't know if the Colts ready to move off of Anthony Richardson, but I
That's what I'm
would.
saying. And they brought in Daniel Jones to compete with him. I don't think they're going quarterback, bro. I just don't. I don't think they're going QB.
Let's see.
That's why I say,
Ugh.
man, he could have if he gets past Cleveland,
Yeah.
Saints,
If he get
he got a
past,
fall,
yeah,
bro.
he got a problem.
He got a
He yeah,
problem.
he could fall into round three. Let's see who out there in round three. Let's see who is out there in round number three.
Cleveland again early in the round.
Cleveland,
Maybe
yeah.
if
The Raiders,
looking at a project, right? Gino for 2 or 3 years, and then we'll bring him
yeah.
in.
Let him yeah, the Saints again at
It's the same
the
team. You
Jets.
know what I'm saying?
But you said
Unless
they don't
somebody,
see the Jets not being like, oh, we good with Danny Dimes and who they got
nah,
starting.
they got your boy Fields.
I
Just
mean, okay, they ain't lighting the field on fire.
I
Pardon
get
my
it. I think
pun.
by
Pardon the
round
pun.
three, though, you bring other teams into it because of the value proposition at that point. You know what I'm saying? Second round picks are really valuable. I think he's going to fall past the second round. That's just my opinion.
You think he
I think
going in
when
the
you get
third?
to the
Because
third, you bring in more
yeah,
teams who are willing to
Cle-
say, okay, he's too talented at this point
yeah,
to pass up.
Cleveland, Cleveland, and the Saints have 2 picks in the third.
Right. I think he's going to end up in a third round pick. I really do. I think in round two, I don't think Cleveland's going to take him, bro. I
The,
have a
the
feeling they're not going
Steelers 19 in the third round. But
to.
yeah,
Right.
it's a possibility.
I think he
It
may
is
be
a
third
possibility.
round, bro.
But so who's on Cleveland's roster? You said Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. Of course, they got boy Deshaun, who's not going to play this year.
I think they should go ahead and draft a quarterback.
I think they should too. I would take a flyer on it. Like I said, in the
Yeah,
third round, I'd be willing to take a flyer on it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like whatever.
Safe pick.
Right.
Safe
You know
pick.
what I'm saying? And then
You don't have to pay him first
they
round
signed
money.
Joe Flacco back too.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
What? So
Right, right. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Joe Flacco. You
Exactly.
remember when your boy Rich Eisen used to say that shit?
Right.
He used to
Exactly.
kill me with that.
Exactly.
Joe
And
Flacco.
and everybody banking on this quarterback class from next year, man. I just started looking. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm missing some. Of course, they all high on Arts, which we'll see. Boy, I hadn't even really played yet, so we'll see. You know what I'm saying?
But he still got another year. Last year was his freshman year, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, he
Yeah.
was.
So
Let's see. He'll be
yeah,
a. I thought this is his
he
junior year coming up.
yeah, this is sophomore year.
You must be a red shirt sophomore then.
Yeah, he wasn't redshirted the year before. He wasn't redshirted at all.
Oh, we'll have to look it up then. Maybe this is his sophomore year then. Well, it can't be because he wouldn't be eligible yet. So he got to be at least a
Right.
junior.
Now,
Yeah. So this is junior year coming
but
up.
they are saying they looking at him next year. Then
No,
they
I'm saying,
wouldn't.
everybody's looking at this quarterback class for next year saying it's so much better, but I don't see it. Because the thing I looked it up last night. I said, okay, they got Arch rated as number one. Nico is number two.
Man, get out of here.
No, Drew Aller from Penn State. The Lenoris Sellers guy from
Bro,
South
Arch
Carolina.
Manning is 19 years old. There's no way he's coming out in the draft.
College career. Yeah, 2023 and 2024. This will be his junior year.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. This will be his junior year, bro. He just young, bro. But yeah, so I just don't see it. Garrett Nussmeyer from LSU. Where's this class? They're all talking. Cade
So
Klubnik
you
from
telling me
Clemson.
he sat behind Quinn Ewers for 2 years?
Yeah, right, exactly. Which
I don't know
everybody
about
thought he
it.
was gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't. So really, this would be his year to show what he got. I mean, he could always go back for his senior season. You know what I'm saying? If he don't have a good year, but everybody assuming
Yeah,
he's gonna be the number one pick. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We'll see.
He
But
did
yeah,
play.
but
He
Shedeur, what do you think the main reason? You think it's on or off the field? The main reason.
Man, I think that the reports. I think it's a little bit of both. Especially how he's sliding, and some of it was due to team need, right? You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of because quarterbacks have been drafted. Numerous quarterbacks being drafted in the first round has been a thing, except for maybe one year. I think 2022 was like I think that was the only other year that only one quarterback was taken in the first round. So teams didn't have a need for a quarterback. And it had to have been a lot of the hate for Dion, which is what I hate the most. Again, you've heard me say it today, and you've heard me say it in the past. I was squarely in the Shedeur is not good enough camp to be drafted in the first round. I'm hoping he proved me wrong. I'm hoping he proved me wrong simply because of the stuff that was coming out about Shedeur was I've never seen that happen to a quarterback like that before. I've seen that happen, especially someone does not have a off the field issue. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Somebody that was, you know what I'm saying, on the police fodder or, you know what I'm saying, getting, he like Johnny Manziel.
Right.
Even he didn't get the type of
It was constant. Yeah.
negative reports that Shedeur got. You know what I'm saying? And it was week by week by week. I'm like, where's all this coming from? And I
Right.
know a lot of people allude to the fact that they didn't want Dion involved, and you know what I'm saying? Is he gonna be able to, he his daddy's boy and all this, that, and the third. But the thing, and I said this before, the thing about Dion was not only his braggadocio, he backed it up on the field, and by all accounts, the best teammate that you could possibly ever have. A locker room guy, somebody that was in the film room, somebody that did things the right way. And he was able to back up what he said by the way he carried himself as a professional. Never out in the, you know what I'm saying, never out from what I could tell. And I don't see a lot of reports about Dion being a womanizer or, you know what I'm saying, getting his Shannon Sharpe on. We'll talk about him a little later. Uh, uh, never somebody out in the clubs partying, kicking, even though when you look at Dion and his persona, you would assume that that was his lifestyle,
Right.
but it
Right.
wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So, he grew up with you know what I'm saying, in the with the right mentality. You can only think that his daddy's footprint and his handprint is all on him. So I despise the way that they came at this kid. You know what I'm saying? Let the on field talent, let the on field attributes speak for themselves. If you don't think he's highly rated as a quarterback, then don't demonize the dude. And I think that had something to do with the reason that he slid. It wasn't. I don't think it was the only reason, because if he was as highly rated as a Andrew Luck
Right.
or a can't
Right.
miss prospect
Right.
like uh,
That's
Lamar
that's how I
Jackson,
look at it. He didn't have the physical tools to overcome the negativity. They overlook all that stuff if he has a cannon arm running a 4.43. You know what I'm saying? All of
right,
that I think would have gotten overlooked. I think because he doesn't, there are question marks about his arm, question marks about some of the stuff in the pocket, that taking the sacks and all that. I think that's the big reason when you put both of them together. So I'm kind of with you. I think it's a multitude of things. Both played a part. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I just don't think the talent, as far as the physical attributes, were there to overcome all the negative stuff that was being said about him in the press. They overlook all that when you got an arm where you can throw it 85 yards in the air, you know what I'm saying, and run like Lamar Jackson. They'll overlook all that. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But he just didn't have that. So now you got all the other, and I don't want to fall into what some of these dudes talking about baggage and he's a disruption, because I don't think he's any of that. But there is something that goes with that name, and I think some of them, right or wrong, thinking about, okay, if he plays bad and Dion thinks it's the organization, what's Dion gonna tweet? You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think that plays into it with some of them, and some of them may just not like Dion. You know what I'm saying? That could be a part of it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in those circles with those owners and GMs. Maybe some of them just don't like Dion. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want any part of what he might tweet or say if Shedeur is not getting playing time, Shedeur is playing poorly. They just don't want to take that risk, you know, with a first round pick. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a second or a third round pick, who really cares? You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody really care at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you though. I hope he's good. I hope he's a solid QB. I think he will be solid. Like I said, I can see him being Kirk Cousins easily. He's accurate. He's tough. We saw him get the hell beat out of him in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? We know he'll get back up. You know what I'm saying? So he's got some attributes. He seems to be able, like I said, be able to read defense. I think he'll be a solid pro. He needs the right system, though. I think people keep saying Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. I'm not sure his arm is made for Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? And playing in Baltimore, playing in Cincinnati in the winter. Even though he played in Colorado, most of them games
Yeah,
we watch,
Colorado ain't no
most of
warm
them
weather
games when you
town now.
watch, bro, how many of them was bad weather games that you saw? I didn't see it. He got lucky on that to me because I never saw that game where it's like, okay, terrible conditions. Let's see if his arm can hold up. I don't remember seeing that game. Maybe you can refresh my memory. I didn't see
They was a mile high, dog. The air
Right,
definitely
right.
was a
It's
little
different.
crisp.
Different, right? It's different. But
We
I'm just
we'd
saying,
have to ask our partner that got them boots on the ground what that
right?
Colorado weather looked like.
What kind of difference does it make?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for me, I don't think I want to see him in Pittsburgh. I think the Saints is the spot, dog. I think that's the spot in that dome in New Orleans with your boy who used to be at the Cowboys. What's his name? Kellen Moore. I think that would be the perfect spot for him. I really do. I think that's the landing spot where he could actually be successful and
Yeah,
maybe
I can
play.
see that.
Yeah. So
I would rather him not be in a cold weather town as
yeah.
well. You know what I'm saying? Being that he spent 2 years in Mississippi, uh, playing in warm weather. I'm pretty sure he had some cold weather games in 2 years in
Oh yeah, I'm
Colorado.
sure he
You know what I
did.
mean?
Yeah, I'm sure some
Now
of
maybe he didn't play in the snow, but how many
them.
college games did you see? Can you remember where it was snowing or it was below zero? You know what I'm saying?
Hell, now with the way
Like in
how many
Buffalo.
games you watch where they west of the Mississippi at this
I
point.
mean,
At
I
this
mean, because I'm not comparing him to Lamar Jackson, but Lamar played in Florida in high school, in Louisville in
right,
college.
right.
So you
No,
can
I just say
adapt.
that in terms of the arm strength. His balls do seem to flutter a lot. Is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? When you watch him play, some of the balls do seem to take a while to get there.
Can you improve that though? Can you improve
I
arm
don't
strength?
know. I don't know. That's an
I
interesting
mean, I
question that
asked
you
that
brought it up
question
early.
earlier, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not sure. It seems like maybe you could. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. You know what I'm saying?
but no, I'm just totally against how they did that guy. As far as the reports, you know what I'm saying. I'm totally against that. I hate that they did that guy like that. I'm not a Shedeur hater. I just didn't think, you know what I'm saying, his attributes
Right,
hold up to, you know what I'm saying, being a first round QB. I do think he could develop into a star, you know what I'm saying, a potential starter in your
right.
Geno Smiths. But like I said, Geno Smith drafted number one. If you redrafted Geno Smith, knowing what you know today, would you go back and draft him in the first round?
Ooh, which Gino?
I'm telling you, the one that we got now. The one that we got now.
That Gino is the late first round pick,
Come on, man.
bro.
You're not
You're
it,
thinking
it,
you're thinking too much high end quarterback. How many of those are in the league?
right. Those are the only ones should be drafted first round. That's my
Oh,
issue.
bro, you
That's my
barely be
issue.
drafting anybody.
we,
Then if
that's
that's
why we
the
doing
case,
that. This is and this is why we're gonna do state of play with the quarterback situation. They are yes, you need a solid quarterback, but if you don't have one that's rated high, that's can't you don't have him as a can't miss prospect. I don't think you necessarily need to spend a first round pick on picking one.
but if that's the case, then, bro, if everybody is waiting on Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson as a first, nobody going. I ain't gonna ever be a first round quarterback. Then if
That's not true.
it's gonna
That's
be
not
every
true.
4 years where you get somebody like that,
No, if I'm
and it
saying if
might be
on your
one.
draft board,
It might be one in every draft.
right, all I'm saying is on your draft. But now, if you have him rated as okay, I like what he got. I like his attributes. If on your draft board, because again, it's team specific, how the team evaluates the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, I'm not talking about okay, what the consensus is. All right, so we all know the consensus on Archman is gonna be he's a can't miss prospect. But if you have somebody like Jalen Milrow that everybody like, and you don't have him as a top prospect, you don't have him graded high as a quarterback in your organization, then why would you spend a first round pick on him? That's
And I
stupid
think
just
most of the
because
time,
you
but I
getting a
think most of the
quarterback.
time that's how it goes, though. G, most of the time, some
That's
of the
the problem. I know that's how it goes. That
no, I'm
shouldn't
saying most of the
as
time you're not gonna take that person. The problem is they do have them rated that high, like a Daniel Jones rated that high on the
okay. So
Giants
they
draft
and they
board.
went
That's
out and
the problem. It's not the problem. So what you're saying, I get it, but that's not normally the issue. The issue is they have them rated too high sometimes.
they do, and sometimes they don't have them rated high enough. Tom Brady.
But we all know that supply and demand, though, with
And like
bro.
with Dak Prescott, prime example. He was rated exactly where he needed to be. He got drafted exactly where he needed to get drafted.
Right.
Fourth round. You would if he draft Dak Prescott was drafted in the first round, you would have been paying him off the rip from the first day.
He made it up.
He made it up. He made it up. He made it up. But
With
at
a
the
little
same
help from
time, you don't
Jimmy, he
have to
made it
get
up.
that. You're not in love with the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I like him, but I'm not in love with him. I'm not spending a first round pick, especially if I got other needs. And I know that's how the NFL operates, just like they operate with next man up mentality when it comes to paying quarterbacks.
Right. Now
That's
that
my
now,
that's my problem.
yeah, now
And
that
then we
part I
got
have a problem with too. Like I
and
said,
then we got
we're
running
in the
backs
middle of
like
that
Derrick
right now,
Henry.
so you know I have
We
a
got
problem
running
with
backs
that.
like Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley making 10, $15 million dollars, and the quarterback making $50 million dollars. It's skewed in the wrong direction
Yeah,
for me.
but it's also just supply. That's just simple economics, though. Just supply and demand when it comes to that,
I
though.
get it, man, but sometimes the supply is overvalued. That's my issue.
Right, but when you exactly, but when demand is great, that's what happens, though. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
just what happens. You know what I'm saying? When you got a super demand like that. But let's move on. What was your best move of
The
the
man was great for them damn cyber trucks, but they a piece of shit.
piece of shit? Recall on
they
all of them.
they got
Panels
Gilbert
falling
Arenas
off.
boy in a induced coma. Pray, peace out. I mean, prayers up for Gilbert Arenas' son.
Definitely, bro. He was in one of those for real.
Yeah, he was in the cyber truck.
Damn, that's awful. But definitely prayers up for the young man. First round, bro. What was the best move for you?
We segue right on into basketball.
Oh
My
no,
bad. We
staying
talking
here for
about
a
first
minute,
round.
son.
What was the
Yeah,
best
first
move?
round. Best move of the first
Best
round.
move gotta be, I'm gonna go with the first two, the second and the third pick. I mean, but they were, no brainers.
No brainers.
Travis Hunter and Jaguars moving up
So
to get
okay, so
Travis
let's
Hunter.
talk about that one for a second. What do you think about the Brown? I mean, what you call it, getting up out of there then? The Browns moving up out. Will they regret it?
I mean, they got an extra pick out the deal. I don't like we talked about last week. They already had a Denzel Ward. Um, I don't know if can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you.
Okay. I don't know if Travis Hunter is a all world wide receiver. I think he's a good wide receiver. You know what
I
I'm
think
saying? I
I
think
think
he's a
he's
good wide
good. I
receiver.
think he's good at both, but
Yeah.
not transcending that either.
I think he could be a transcendent cornerback more than he can a transcendent wide receiver. I think he should be full-time cornerback, part-time wide receiver. If he shows that he's better than the top 3 or 4 wide receivers that the Jaguars already have. And I think they're gonna let it play out in training camp. Now, if he does the unthinkable and is top 2, top 3 wide receivers in the Jaguars locker room and one of the best 2 or 3 cornerbacks, being the third one being a nickelback, which would be a disappointment for me. He should be one of the top 2, spending a second pick in the first round on him and moving up to do that. He
They
got a
gave
lot to prove
yeah, they
based
gave
on
up
the
a 5. They gave up a 2 this year, a 4 this year, and a
yeah.
1.
I just don't see where people like, you know what I'm saying? It just can't happen, man. If he proved me wrong, I will be the first to be like, man, I was dead wrong.
Right.
Now, it was very impressive for him to play the amount of snaps that he played at
Colorado.
Colorado,
Right.
but he played in the Big 12. He played in the SWAC. That's not SEC. That's not even Big Ten. That's not even ACC competition. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have talent, but
Right.
the amount of talent
Week in, week
and the week in, week out, playing against the best quarterbacks, playing against the best wide receivers,
right,
lining up
right,
across from the best cornerbacks.
right.
You know what I'm saying? The best defenses, all together, put together defenses. That didn't happen. That
Yeah,
didn't happen. Now, his talent level showed that he is one of one. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of them dudes, but being able to do that on the pro, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. But again, I like the pick because you can make him. I think he's going to be a cornerback. I think the Jaguars needed a cornerback, and they got an extra playmaker on the offensive side. That's
yeah.
why I got it as one of the
Yeah,
best
I'm
picks. And of
okay
course,
with it.
Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Jags doing it too. I think one, you have to think he's from Florida, so putting the butts in the seat. So it's always an economic reason for stuff like that too. It's gonna fill the stadium for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Duval.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be packed. You know what I'm saying. But I'm kind of with you though. I don't think he can do both at an elite level. So it's a matter of, do you want a solid player at two positions, or do you want a elite player, possibly elite player at one position, and you dabble in the other, like you said. You know what I'm saying? I don't care which one he picks, just pick one to play full time and just dabble with the other one. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see, like when I watch him at wide receiver, I like him. He's straight, but I don't see him being Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him being
Right.
Justin Jefferson. And when I watch him at corner, I guess I'm coming around to what you're saying. I can see him more easily being a Sertan than I can a Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't, he's not physically imposing enough to be that receiver to me. You know what I'm saying? Is he fast? Sure. But he not the fastest one out there. You know, is he quick? Sure. Is he the quickest? Mm, I'm sure he's not on the NFL level. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not sure at receiver that he can be this dominant force everybody thinks he can be. I don't see it either. You know what I'm saying? He what is he, 6? What is he, 6 foot, 185,
6'1"? Yeah, 6'1".
185, 190 maybe. You know what I'm saying? I think he needs to focus on one side of the ball, Chief. I mean, yeah, it looks like from what Jacksonville is saying, they're gonna let him try. You know what I'm saying? To play both ways from what they were saying last night. You know what I'm saying? He said he was on the phone with the offensive and defense coordinator, and he said they were gonna let him be him. You know what I'm saying? So what that means, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? If they actually try to do it. And I'm with you. If he does it, I'll just have to, hey, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was dead wrong. If he can do it at the NFL level, even for a year or two, if he can do it, it'll be highly impressive. But I just don't see it, bro. I just really don't see it. But as far as most impressive for me, none of it, bro. None of
None?
the nothing, bro. Nothing made me jump out my seat like, ooh, that was nice. It's a bunch of, like you said, Abdul Carter. If he turns into what people think he can be, a version of Micah, okay, that's a great pick. You know what I'm saying? Does that change fortunes for the Giants though? They got a bunch of pass rushers now. You know what I'm saying? None of these picks made me say, "Oh, that was tremendous." You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it was like
So let
a
me
bunch
ask
of
you about
average players. You know what I'm saying? Who we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I just
what
don't
about Tyler Warren
want to.
dropping down to the
Who going?
Colts?
Yeah, but who gonna throw it to him? Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones. I mean, do I think that's a good pick? Yeah. Now that was shocking to me that Loveland went first to the Bears. That they chose the other tight end from Michigan over Tyler Warren. Now I was kind of shocked by that one, that they went that route with it, but obviously they were looking for more of the pure pass catcher in Loveland. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little bit surprised by that one. But as far as anything transformational, where you're like, okay, that made them a contender, or oh man, that's a great pick. It seemed like a bunch of average picks to me, bro, where everybody just kind of filled in some needs that they had. I don't see anything that was just, even with my Niners, I think it's a good pick. If I were grading it like they do on television, I'd probably say B. He's a nice edge. He can set the edge. I went and watched a lot of film on him last night. You know what I'm saying? Good set the edge dude who got to work on his pass rush. You know what I'm saying? But I know we're trying to get stout on the D line again. So I understand it as a Niner fan. But does it have me jumping out of my seat over Michael Williams? Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? It's a part, hopefully, of a bigger plan. Tonight is really important for me because we got two picks. Well, actually three, one in the second, two in the third. So to me, this is more of the night for me. Okay, how do we fill in this roster at this point? You know what I'm saying? For me. So I'm looking forward to what the Niners do tonight. What about your boys? They got your boy from Bama, didn't
Roll Tide, Big Book. The third Tyler on the offensive
they? I
line,
know three
Tyler
Tyler. That's
Guyton,
that's wild, bro.
Tyler Smith, and Tyler
Yeah,
Booker.
yeah, that's wild, bro.
We got to come up with a nickname for him. But I mean, it was a solid pick. I didn't expect it. I was thinking they was gonna go wide receiver
Wide receiver,
uh,
yeah.
to to get some more explosiveness on the outside with CD Lamb. But you can't go wrong with bolstering your offensive line. We
Right,
just lost Zach Martin at the
right.
guard position. Tyler Smith plays at guard. Um, so we needed somebody in between our center Cooper Beebe and Terrence Steele. So I think Tyler Booker would fit in well on the right side of the ball, even though he played left guard in college. I don't think it's a difference between playing left guard and right guard.
Right.
Um, he's a he didn't allow a sack all season. Um, and you know what I'm saying. They I think some of the draft prospects had him as one of the top three offensive linemen in the draft, but they
Yeah,
said that
yeah,
what I'm saying, not very mobile. Doesn't move well. You know what I'm saying? So that could be an issue when you're trying to pull and all that. But he's a solid blocker. You know what I'm saying? He can pass. His pass blocking is the best out of his skill set. Run blocking, he needs some improvement on. But he's not bad at run blocking. So I like the pick, but I was expecting a wide receiver.
yeah, yeah. Well, I guess I will say, I guess I'll give kudos to the Panthers for not overthinking it and taking Tet and taking T-Mac. You know what I'm saying?
I was hoping they didn't take him and he
I
would
know you
fall to
were because you
us.
had him in there in the mock. You know what I'm saying? You had him going to the.
I had Ted.
I thought you
I
had him
had the
going to the
Panthers pick.
Cowboys.
No, I had him going. I end up picking
Oh, you
Matthew
sure did. You
Golden
sure did. You sure did.
for the Cowboys on the mock draft. But
Yeah, but I
I
was
had the
glad they didn't
Panthers
overthink it.
going with Ted.
Yeah, because Bryce needs that. You know what I'm saying? So I was glad for them that they didn't overthink it. At least they'll give him a shot to try to be successful. You know, I have my questions about him, but this way you get like, at least get a man a fair shot. You know what I'm saying? To be successful and go out and get him a weapon. You know what I'm saying? So overall, we'll see, man. Like I said, I'm looking forward to tonight. One, see where Shedeur goes. But really, this is the night for my Niners tonight to see. We got to build a team tonight for real. We got to build these trenches tonight. I see us walking away with at least two linemen, one D lineman and one O lineman coming out of these three picks. So that's what I see coming up for us. What about your boys? What you see them doing tonight? Y'all got any picks? Y'all got a second round pick,
Yeah,
don't
we got the second round pick, number 12 in the second round pick, overall 44 in the third round. We right behind y'all at 12. I mean, we got 12, 12, and 12. What the heck? That's crazy. Uh, yeah, so we got two picks tonight. Both 12th picks in the second and 12th in the third.
you? Oh, okay. All right.
12th in the first.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
Number
Like I say,
12.
yeah,
Got to make some type of.
it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's an interesting draft. But like I say, a lot of these players to me, they the same caliber players at this point. I think, but that can be a good thing because I think a lot of these players tonight are as good as some of those players that went at the end of that first round for real. Honestly, you know what I'm saying. So I think people can get some good players tonight. So hopefully we do. You know what I'm saying. But let's all right, bro. Let's change gears here. Get to some of this NBA, my boy.
Switching of the gears.
King of the gears, NBA playoffs in full effect right now. Of course, your boys tied things up 1-1. You know what I'm saying? Going back to Minnesota. So I guess
Got a
we
crucial game tonight, baby.
crucial, crucial. So let's start there.
It
What
ain't a
happened
pivotal
tonight?
game.
But what happens tonight, dude?
If we gonna steal a game, it better be this game. I mean, I ain't gonna say better. We don't have to win this game. It's not a must win. The last game was a must win, but we must continue to
Split.
play the defense that we played in game number two. We can't allow them to shoot open threes, like
Yeah, yeah.
wide open. They were just it was ridiculous. They was shooting fish in a barrel, seemed like. But I I think that the Lakers pull it out. I think it's gonna be Luca plays magnificently away. Like he gets amped up playing away games. LeBron's been through the fire. He's tested and he hasn't had a great game so far scoring wise. I think this might be one of the games where he goes off for 28 to 30 points.
I see it the opposite. I think this is a game where the Timberwolves role players show up and they win this one. I don't think it's a must win for you guys either, but it's a must split in these two Minnesota games. Y'all can't go
Oh yeah,
split.
we got to
Y'all
get the
can't go
split.
down 3-1 against this team. They match
Yeah,
up
we got to
well
get the
enough.
split.
Yeah, they will match up well enough against y'all where I wouldn't like y'all chances of winning three in a row
I
again.
wouldn't either. I mean, because they got too much length
Yeah,
on
right.
the perimeter. They're bothering the hell out of Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves, yeah,
He's Austin Reeves have been able to take advantage of any third best defender matchup that he's been getting, and the Timberwolves have a slew of defenders they can throw at either of the Lakers, Luca or LeBron. Um, so their length has been bothering us a little bit out on the perimeter, but I like how I started to see some offensive movement other than just trying to pick on Rudy toward the end. It was like two or three plays that I think JJ is going to start to look at more, and that's that pick and roll with LeBron and getting him on the post matched up against Conley or Nikhil Alexander Walker. Um, and they ran that play like two times. Now one didn't result in a bucket, but it did result in an open shot. We just got to knock it down, and then one resulted in a foul, sent us to the line. So
yeah.
I see JJ kind of what I'm saying, making sure because that Luca to Luca uh, one on one with Rudy is just stagnating the offense, and Rudy's not
Yeah, for
he
me, it's
can't guard
about
him.
answer, bro.
Yeah, he can't guard him, but it's not making the Timberwolves react to send other defenders. They're like, okay, you just gonna have to score on Rudy. You know what I'm saying, and not having the double team.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying. We got a couple of cuts off of that action in the first half. In the second half, not so much.
Yeah, and honestly, I like the strategy. I don't mind letting Luca do his dance and do what he gonna do. If he gonna get 40 doing that, go right ahead, sir. You know what I'm saying? I don't even mind that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's about Ant, man. What are you gonna do, bro? Not now's the time, bro. They've been hyping you up for years as if you coming, you about to be this transcendent superstar player. You got to show up in these two games, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's that time, bro. If you're gonna be that dude, these next two games are gonna show it. If you're gonna be that dude, what kind of game are you gonna play? You gonna start settling for threes, or you gonna get aggressive and get in the paint? You know what I'm saying? What is he gonna do? I'm really looking
Now
forward to.
he said the defense was befuddling him out there. Now he said the defense had him confused out there.
Hey, well, he had a couple days to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to see. But to me, that's the most interesting thing left in this series. Where does he take his game now? Like, can he step up and elevate this team past the team that he's not supposed to beat? But if you ask all the experts, they're not supposed to win this series. But now you got them 1-1 going back home. What you gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? So that's it. I think
It's
they're
a
gonna take this
it's
game
an
tonight.
evenly matched series, man. The Timberwolves are only one game behind the Lakers. This is an evenly matched
Yeah,
series. I don't know if they
that's why I think they're
necessarily
supposed to
that.
take this game. I think they're gonna take this game tonight, though. I really do. I got a feeling they're
Let's
gonna
go
win.
Lake Show.
So let's move on to the greatest comeback in playoff history that happened last night, which I was shocked by. I didn't know that was the
That's
greatest
not no
of
greatest
history.
comeback. They lost their best player, man. Stop it.
No, I'm just saying by points, 29-point deficit. It was the greatest one in playoff history. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you though. I'm not impressed. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
I'm more
man, they
I'm more upset with them. Like, why was y'all down by 20 some points? You know what I'm saying? To me, that's kind of more it made me question them a little bit watching that first half. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of team is this? You know what I'm saying? It's the first time I really started to kind of question them a little bit. Like, Okay, Thunder. Okay. Are y'all really ready to take that next step? You know what I'm saying? They will win this series. That's obvious. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
But
yeah, that's it's the series is a
the
wrap.
series is a
I'm
wrap.
more disappointed in Ja getting injured. Now, I know he can't, you know, you can't predict injuries. Sometimes you just fall and it's you fall the wrong way. But and somebody had posted in the group I had posted last night, you know what I'm saying, get in the weight room, but it was like no amount of weights could have, Jimmy Butler went down. Jimmy Butler didn't walk off on crutches either. He walked off on his own and he'd probably be back the next game. Ja done.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
and it's sad, man. Again, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying. Injuries happen. You know what I'm saying, and I'm not gonna say that he don't work out enough. Yeah, I am. You can tell he got the same body type as he did when he was in college, except for he a little bit more heavier than he was just because you know what I'm saying, he growing, he getting older. And that normally happens from when you're a teenager to when you become a man, a full
Right.
grown man. So,
Right.
uh, yeah, I don't see no real muscle definition on him. It looked like he taking the Allen Iverson approach to hooping. And with the way that he plays, it's just a matter of time before
Short career.
he tears something.
Short career. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time he tears something. On top of the fact that he's wasted away the opportunity to be the face of the league,
That
even if he
part.
didn't want it. You know what I'm saying? To be
That
that
part.
guy.
Because he was
You know what I'm
on his
saying?
way.
Is the
He
most
was on the
disappointing.
way, bro.
Yeah, man. I was ready to be okay. I'm riding with Ja. I'm right up the road from Memphis. I can go watch me a lot of Memphis games. I went to the Memphis game. Of course, the Lakers were there, but I was like, okay, I want to see Ja in person. Was impressed. He had a great game that game. They beat the Lakers that game. The year the Lakers won the championship. Um, but yeah, it's just so disappointing to watch this dude, man. I didn't think they were gonna beat the Thunder, even if he played all games. But the way that they started out playing last night and had that lead, I was like,
He
okay,
froze
you know what I'm
up, bro.
saying? You showing me something. You showing me something. And then they get injured. And I'm like, that happens every fucking playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a rolled ankle, he rolled his ankle in the play-in game, didn't he? We still there? You paused up, Dante? I started up. Like I said, I went to see him play. He was impressive. But yeah, man, it's in how they played that first half. I'm like, he's showing me something. I didn't think they were going to beat the Thunder at the start the series out, but I wanted to see them fight a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That after you got your ass smacked around the
Right.
first two games, I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Show some fight. You know what I'm saying? And then he get injured,
Yeah.
and
Because I
it's
think he doesn't,
every
and they win. They definitely win that game last night. He don't get injured.
yeah.
They
If
win.
he's not injured, they pull it out. I don't know if they end up winning by 30, like they was up
No,
by
nah.
30 or 26 at the half. But I think they had enough of a lead with Ja that
Yeah.
even if the Thunder made a run, they
Yeah.
were going to be able to pull that out.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
yeah,
I agree.
man,
But that
disappointed
one's
with him,
over though.
man.
Yeah. It's sad, man. It may be time for him to move on, but we'll get into that later. Rockets Warriors. Of course, looks like Jimmy avoided major injury. I think they said a glute contusion or something to that effect. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of contusion or
Touch
what.
that ass up.
Yeah, basically, bruised his tailbone, basically. You know what I'm saying? So look like he'll be back. Maybe not tonight, they're saying, though. He's questionable for tonight. They're not saying if he's playing or not yet. Guess it'll be kind of a game time decision. But what you thinking about this series?
Let me go with the Warriors. The Rockets just don't have enough. Fred Van Vliet, inconsistent as the one that's most disappointing in this guy in this series is even though he had a great a great game, Jalen Green in the last game. That first game showed me everything I needed to know about that dude, man. Taking bad shots, driving the ball in the lane, turning it over. It's just it Steph too much, and then when Jimmy get back, they ain't gonna have an answer for neither one of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think they win tonight with or without him. I don't think they're going to lose this game at home. I really don't. And I'm kind of with you. The Rockets, they need something else, bro. I mean, your boy, I'm with
Yeah,
you. I thought Jalen Green had a chance to be good. when he first came out, when he got drafted. But he's the same player now that it
Too
was.
inconsistent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he stepped on the court as a rookie, he's the same dude. You know what I'm saying? Same inefficient dude that he has been. Listen to this though, G. So I'm just gonna go to 4 years he been in the league. Field goal percentage: 42.6, 41.7, 42.3, 42.3. He's the same dude. You know what I'm saying? He's the exact same player that he's been.
And I guarantee you, he's taking at least 8 threes a game.
Oh, you already know. You're
7, 8 threes a game.
8.1 this year, making 2.9. So he shot 35%, which is not that bad for him. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's the same
At
player.
35%, you shouldn't be shooting 8 threes a game.
Hey, it's a lot of dudes in the league doing that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is, but they shooting, I guarantee you, they shooting at least 40 something percent
And
or
it's just
close
like
to it.
he the same dude, man. He's I don't think they get over the hump. They're gonna have to make some choices, some real strong choices with this team on how it's gonna be built going forward.
I think you keep the team. I think you try to add KD. I think that's what they
And
looking
keep
at.
everybody else, but you and adding KD, you ain't gonna be able to keep everybody. I wouldn't let you do that if I'm the other GM. I'm not letting you keep everybody.
Hey, who you? I would Fred Van Vliet, and I'm trying to get me another point guard.
I'm definitely probably taking Jabari and I'm taking a bunch of picks. I'm getting some you're gonna lose somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if they would be willing to give up the young boy Thompson or whatever, but I'm just not if you get trying to get KD, if you Phoenix, you're not making them dumb deals anymore. You got to ask for something back. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting some of those young players off your team. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way it's happening. Or else I'm not making that deal. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But I do think
What
they
if
need
we?
to do something.
What if we give you two firsts next year and the year after next?
I still need one of them young players. I need either Jabari or Thompson. You're gonna have to give up one of them. Then I'll take the two first rounders. You know what I'm saying? But
I
you
give you Dylan Brooks. How about that?
hell no. Hell no. but,
Fred
but
Van Vliet.
but let's I got the Warriors too though, man, in this one. Like I said, I think they win this season.
M&M's and some
It may take them 7 to
M&M's
get
and
there.
$20.
Say yeah.
A Jolly Rancher and some envelopes.
Hey, it may take them 7 games to get there, bro, but I do think they win. I think the Warriors win this one. They pull it out. The experience is going to be too much. They win. Now let's get to the team I'm starting to get a little excited about. The clip joint, Kawhi, or wheelchair as you like to call him, but he's not in the
A
wheelchair right now.
wheelchair.
Not in the wheelchair right now. He
It's
dropping
just a matter of
buckets on
time.
their ass. He
It's
dropping
just a matter
buckets.
of time. Like
I'm
T.O.
starting to
said, it's
believe,
just a
sir.
matter of time.
I'm starting to believe. Because a healthy Kawhi, they can definitely get to the finals out of the West. That's all I'm saying. A healthy Kawhi, they can get to the finals out of the West. Do they win the series? They
Yeah,
up,
they got this one.
they up 2-1 after the blowout last night.
Yeah, they got this one. Denver has, I said it, they got a roster problem. They let go of some of the players that helped them to
Yeah, I
win
think
that
we all
championship.
said that. Yeah, that's
And their
built wrong.
problem is they have young players. They have some athleticism on the wings. They just don't have enough shooters. So everything revolves around yoke, right?
Joker,
It
everything.
revolves around that two-man game with him and Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon has improved his three-point shooting, so he's not just in the dunker spot. You know what I'm saying? He can step out to that that side three-point shot, that short corner three-point shot. But then after if you're able to take that away, which good teams can, not allow them to kill you all game,
Right.
then what else you got? You got an inefficient Russell Westbrook. You got Christian Braun, right? He's
Yep.
okay, but he ain't gonna kill you. And then Michael Porter Jr. ain't what he was a few years ago. Now he had a hell of a game the last game, uh, and he had a pretty good first game. So they got to get in order for them to beat the Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr. has to be a dominant third player, not just
Another guy. Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He's been the key for them the last couple years. If he doesn't play well, I don't think they can beat good teams without him playing very well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he was supposed to be part of their big three.
Right, right. He hasn't really. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player. I'm not disparaging Michael Porter Jr. He's a good player. You know what I'm saying? But he's not that. You know what I'm saying? In this series, because they shouldn't be getting blown out by this Clippers team. That's my whole point. You know what I'm saying? This Clipper team is not that much better than them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure that this Denver
Well, it's
team
not been
really.
a blowout. It's just one
I'm
game.
saying
And
last night. I'm talking about last night. That
yeah,
shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, they aren't that. They aren't a juggernaut like that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I'm not sure Denver is fully in it after the firing of your coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure they even care about making a run at this point.
yeah, I
I'm
think that was yeah, I think that's what hurts them the most outside of the roster construction you had. I don't know why you get rid of Mike Malone now, right before, just like the Grizzlies. Why not wait till the season ends
from
and
all
then let
reports,
him
the
go?
owner just got sick of him and the GM clashing. So he got rid of both of them. I guess it must have been, it had to be bad, you know what I'm saying, for them to, and part of the reason was roster construction. From the article, I read a real in-depth article about it. Part of the reason was the roster construction and things that Malone didn't want him to do that he did as far as roster construction. So that was something they clashed on all the time. So the owner finally just said, okay, both of y'all out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe they have the right vibes around this team to make a run this year. Clippers win. It might be in five, but probably six. But Clippers win, I think, pretty easily. I think they win the next game. They'll probably lose the next one in Denver, come home and close it out.
I agree. I
Really,
agree.
we can talk about. We can talk about
Done
it.
in six.
Yeah, they done in six probably. Celtics, Magic. We know what that is. With or without Tatum, Magic just don't have enough offense. Basically, you know what I'm saying? They just not enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got any comments on that one, but nothing
They've
to.
been playing pretty well. It ain't been like they
They've been
they
playing
they've been getting
hard. You know what I'm
yeah, they
saying?
ain't been getting blitzed by the Celtics.
Yeah, yeah, they play
I think
hard. You know what I'm saying?
I think they, what I'm saying, a piece or two away. They
Two
glue guy Mo Wagner's out. Jalen Suggs is out.
Suggs is out. That hurts. Yeah,
Yeah, that hurts. You know what I'm saying? And so I like what I'm seeing from both Franz and uh Bankero. Um KCP
I
got
think
to get his
they still
shot
seem
back.
to be playing hard for their coach. That's the biggest thing to
Yeah.
me.
They play hard, man. They play good D.
Play
If
hard.
KCP got his shot back,
Yeah,
they would probably be, what I'm saying, closer toward the end. I'm not saying that they would win. They would be closer because it looks like the Celtics are, well, especially the last game. I didn't watch the first game, but the last game they were, what I'm saying, it was a 10. The Celtics would have a 10 or 12 point lead. The Magic would bring it back,
right,
and so
right,
that kind of happened from the first quarter all the way to the end. And the Celtics put on the gas at the end, and they didn't have enough time to come back. So,
right,
but
right,
what I'm saying, the KCP hit his shots. They get something out of Cole Anthony because he
right,
looked lost out there.
right. That boy's
I
fine.
like I
He's
like
so
how
sweet.
Corey Joseph been playing. Man, that reminds me of something, man. Something I got to spin the block on. We talked about the Grizzlies, right? And what I'm saying, after that first game, Triple J got blasted, and the sports pundits came at him. We had
Right.
some guys in our group that said that Michael Sims, I'm calling him out, Leonard Robinson said that Triple J ain't a top 10 big in the league. And who they had over him was Porzingis, Chet Holmgren, and I can't remember the third guy they had. It was Chet Porzingis, and it was somebody I can't think of his name right now. I'm like, come on, man. I ain't got him top 5, but he damn sure top 10.
Now, if you're telling me if you're saying healthy at his best, Porzingis, I'd rather have Porzingis. Yeah,
Hell no.
yeah, you crazy as hell. Healthy at
When
his,
is he healthy? When is
but
he
see,
healthy?
but see, that's why I
When
say
is he healthy?
you have to define the argument. That's why I say you have to define what your argument is. If you're talking about apples to apples, they both healthy and on the floor. Give me Porzingis.
Okay, even still healthy and and let's do a comparison. Pull it up. Porzingis, even healthy, I'm taking Triple J.
Man, you crazy. You crazy.
Has Porzingis won a Defensive Player of the Year?
I don't care.
No, no, he hasn't.
I don't care.
He does the same thing. He rim protects and he shoot threes.
Give me Porzingis.
What is he better at? What is Porzingis better at?
Give me Porzingis.
You can't answer. What is he better at?
He a better
What
player.
is he better at?
He a better
How?
basketball player.
How?
What you talking about?
How?
He's a better
How?
basketball player. Chief, come on,
In
bro.
what ways? I
He's
mean,
a
let's
better
quantify
shooter.
it.
I know he's a better shooter.
All right,
I ain't even looking at the stats, and I know he's a better shooter.
he shoots a career best his career from three. He is a 36% three-point shooter,
Okay.
averaging 19, 7, and 1.
Okay.
Now he might have him on the rebounds, just not looking at the stats right now. I'm pulling up Jaren Jackson Jr. now.
That's not even close in my mind, for real. It's not even, I don't even have to think about that one. Give me
Let's look.
Porzingis all day, every
You
day.
got you pulling up the stats.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you had him. I was about to say, man, you give me that
I'm
all day.
pulling up. I'm pulling up Jaren now. This year he's averaging 22 points a game. That's just off the top of my head. Career 18, 5, and 1.5. He's shooting 37% from three and 48% overall.
19.6, 7.8, 1.8. 36.6 from three, 82.9 from the free throw line. PER 20.8.
DPOY.
Say again.
DPOY.
Yeah, and that's
Defensive Player of
all
the
you
Year.
got. That's what I'm saying. That's like,
That's not
bro,
all I got.
that's all you got,
He's
bro. He a
they
big
they
man.
bet
He a
basically
big man who
about the
don't. He
same
a
in
big man who don't rebound. Like, what do I want that for? Why do I want?
five. That's his. That, okay, I'm gonna give you that. The rebounding. I said that. I said he probably got him on rebounding, but they do the same thing. They're shot blockers and they shoot threes. Bigs who shot blocking. The only thing that you would say is he's longer, but when you factor in the fact that number one, Jaren Jackson has won a Defensive Player of the Year, and Porzingis can't stay healthy.
That's
Give
the
me
only
give me
thing. That's the
Jaren
only
Jackson
thing I'll
Jr.
give you. That's the only thing I give you. But as a basketball player, which is what we're talking about,
As that
Kristaps
the
Porzingis is a
best
better basketball player than Jaren Jackson.
the best ability is availability, sir. We know this.
Fine. I said I'll give you that point. That's why I
We know
said in
this.
the beginning, you have
If
to
we was to put
define the
on a
argument. That's the
spectrum,
only way you can convince
if we was
anybody
to
to
put
take
this on
Jaren
the
Jackson
if we was
over
to
Kristaps Porzingis.
yeah, defense matters, right?
No, not.
But
I'm talking
defense
about being
doesn't matter.
healthy. Being healthy. That's it. Kristaps Porzingis
Being
plays
help
defense.
so defense don't matter.
Kristaps Porzingis plays defense. What are you talking about?
He ain't a better defender
It's
than
close.
Jaren Jackson.
It's
It
close.
ain't it ain't nowhere near close.
Man, get out of here. It's
It
close.
ain't nowhere near
It's,
close.
it's close, bro. Come on now. You overstating this boy defense. Come on, dog. You overstate. That's like
I
everybody talking
would
about Draymond Green plays such great damn defense. It's overrated, bro. Stop it. Overrated. Overrated.
this year, Kristaps 19 points, Jaren Jackson 22 points.
Okay, this year, fine.
Kristaps 6 rebounds, Jaren Jackson
7,
5,
6.8, 7 rebounds.
7 rebounds,
Don't try
Jaren
to
Jackson
round
five
down,
and a
bro.
half. I thought I saw 6. I still got Jaren Jackson. I'm just trying to go off of memory right now.
48.3 from the field, 41.2 from three. Give me Kristaps all
I'm
day
taking
long.
J. I'm taking
All day
Triple
long.
J.
It's not even close, bro. Come
It,
on, bro. It
is he
ain't.
a top? Is he a top 10 power forward though? I mean, top 10 big power forward because that's the position he plays.
We just saying bigs are just powerful.
Bigs, we got all the bigs because today is like I said, it's positionless. So you either gonna have a five. Some teams have a 5 and a 4. Most teams have a 4 playing a 5.
Top 10, top 10, top 10.
You got Joke.
Yeah.
I'm even including Embiid, even though he ain't healthy. Giannis.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wemby.
who you got after that? Zubac.
Yeah, Zubac is ahead of him all day long.
Yeah, Zubac over him.
Is he
Wemby.
Wemby? I said Wemby. Yeah.
That's five. Uh,
Before this year, I got Chris Stapps over
Anthony
him.
Davis.
Yeah, AD. I got Chris Stapps over him.
All right, after you said Chris, that's I don't, but
What about
okay.
marketing? What about marketing?
Hell no.
Okay, Evan Mobley,
Uh,
Carl Anthony Towns,
Cat. I had Cat.
Sabonis,
That's eight. I didn't have. Did I have Sabonis? Yeah, Sabonis nine.
Siakam.
Shingun. I don't have. I don't
Not,
have. Yeah.
he ain't 10, bro. He ain't in there, bro. He not in
He might
there,
not be. He might
bro.
not
He
be. I
ain't
didn't. I didn't
in
have
there, bro.
Sabonis in there.
He not in there.
I don't
Bam.
have
What
Siakam
about Bam?
as a four. I had Bam in there. I
Okay.
think who I didn't have in there was Sabonis and who else you name? You
Uh,
name somebody else that
Siakam, Sabonis, Towns.
yeah,
Oh,
Siakam. I had Cat in there.
oh, okay. Mobley.
Yeah, Evan Mobley. I didn't have him in there.
I
So it was
mean,
like three names that you
he
named.
probably in that 11 to 14 ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I still give him top 10.
And that's
I
called
still
the
give him
bigs. Yeah, some of these bigs, man. Like, yeah, he
because
better
Sabonis
be better than
Sabonis ain't
Miles.
having a good season this year. He
Yeah,
had like one or two good seasons.
yeah, he ain't better than Sabonis though. His resume just don't stack up to Sabonis's at this point. You know what I'm saying? Not
What's
to
his
me.
resume? What's Sabonis'
Not to me.
resume?
I mean, Sabonis I bet you every year he giving you 20 and 10 or close to it.
Hey man, does defense count though? I mean, y'all keep
Man,
telling me that
Sabonis ain't
defense
no
counts.
trash defender. I'm the one. No, don't
Yeah,
try my
I'm
argument
not
on me,
saying
bro.
that they
Don't
trash
try to use my
defenders.
argument against me. That's what I
I
tell
am.
y'all all the
I
time.
am.
No,
Consistency.
bro.
I
No,
am because
bro.
you got a two-time block champion, a two-time all defensive player, and a defensive player of
But
the
you were
year. That
talking
got to
like Chris
count for
Stapps
something.
didn't play, don't play defense. It'd be different
I
if
didn't
Chris
say
Stapps
that. I didn't
like
say that. What
Luca
did I
was
say?
like Luca
I
ass
said
on
that Chris
defense.
Stapps. I said Chris Stapps plays. Chris Stapps and Jaron do the same thing: shoot threes and block shots. Now, Chris Stapps is a little bit of a better rebounder. I give you that, but he ain't no rebounding champion. It's just
Yeah,
like this. It's just
but he's
like this.
better at it than
I'm gonna put
Jackson.
your argument. I'm gonna put
He's
your
better
other
at it
argument
than
to your.
Jaren Jackson.
I'm gonna put your other argument to your face. You got Jokic over Embiid, right? Now this you agree with
Right
me.
now, you talking about
The
right
only
now?
reason, right, and the only reason why is because of what? Availability. That's it.
No, that ain't it. His defense
That
is
was
far superior to the Joker's. Far superior. It ain't
oh
even
man, let's
close.
move on, man. Let's move on.
Yeah,
You don't see
yeah.
you just don't want to you just don't want to admit when
So
I'm
you
right,
gonna tell
man.
me Embiid is not a much better defender than Joker?
He's a better defender than Joker.
Much
True.
better.
Hey, by what's that? But what if okay? What are we
Come on,
judging it on,
come
man?
on,
I mean,
come on.
because if you're a two-time block champion and you're a two-time all defense, Chris Stapps ain't none of that. And you're a defensive player of the year, that would scream much better to me. That's
But
just
you
all
just
that's
said
all
on
I'm
defense.
saying.
You just said on defense they do the same thing.
Chris Stapps block shots, but he ain't no block champion.
But you said they do the same thing.
He ain't no block champion. And it's not
How
it
many
can't
career
just
blocks does Jaren Jackson average career?
I don't know, man. Let's move on. We didn't
Right,
jump the
because
shark.
I guarantee you it's gonna be close.
We'll look it
Guarantee
up.
you it's
We'll
close.
look it up.
I guarantee you. Yeah, we gotta move on, man, because we still got a big topic to get to, man. All right, let's go and run through these last three. Cleveland and the
We
Heat.
already know it, yeah.
Yeah, we already know how that's gonna turn out. They'll play hard.
Cavs,
They'll play hard
Cavs
like
and four.
they'll play hard
Cavs
like
and five.
last
I
game.
think
Yeah,
they'll get him
5
in.
games.
They'll get him in Miami one game.
Yeah,
Cavs and
Bucks,
five.
Pacers. The Giannis era could be coming to an end, as far as I'm concerned. They lose in 4, maybe 5. Probably
Man,
five.
so if they do lose in 4 or 5, what does that say about Giannis? Man, I know, and we said that the Bucks have a roster issue, right? But come on, man. I mean, Giannis is you got him on the Mount Rushmore of power forwards.
Based on what I projected. Say it all now. I'm projecting. I was projecting Giannis onto the Mount Rushmore power forwards. So get it right
We
now. Get
weren't
it
doing no damn projections. We was talking about the here
right.
and the now. Here and now. Like
So
Luther Vandross.
it's bad for him if he lose this one, bro. I mean, I know it won't be his fault because he's putting up hell of a numbers. You know what I'm saying? His
He
numbers
is putting
are hellacious, but you can't get bounced by no damn Indiana team, bro. They not
and
that
does it
good, bro.
but
Either is
so
your team though.
let's put that in context though, because we don't do that with we know that the Bucks got a roster issue, but when we talk about the Pantheon greats,
That's what I
it
just said.
is what it
I
is.
said if he lose this to the Pacers, he got an issue, bro. It's a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm consistent with it. It's a problem if you lose this series, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This
Also, I'm
Pacer
looking for some
team,
consistency.
it's a problem, bro. If you lose to this team, you got to beat this team, bro. You know what I'm saying? You Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2-time MVP champion. Dame is back now. Got his legs under him in the first game. You got to
And
come
this would
back.
be
Yeah, you got to
this
come
would be
back in
how
this
many
series.
times he's lost in the first round? Didn't he lose last year in the first round?
Yeah, I think so. It's
In the prime of his career?
yeah, that'll be bad for him, bro. Like I said, I think if it happens, they might part ways. It might he might be like my
I
loyalty is
can't do it no more.
I can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point he got to start looking at it. The last one, of course, the Knicks took back the lead last night in
This
Detroit.
gonna be a good series. It's
Kelsey,
going 7.
no, it is not.
It's
Knicks,
going 7.
Knicks and six.
You got Knicks and 6. I got it
Knicks,
going 7 games.
Knicks and six. Like I said, I'll give the Pistons a little credit. You know what I'm saying? They've played well. But I don't know if
It's
this says
going
more
seven
about I don't know
games.
if this says more about them or the Knicks at this point because the Pistons not that good a team. I'm just gonna put it out there. They're
Nah,
not
they're
that good.
young. I think they're a decent team. I think they are
They're
a playoff
okay.
team.
They're not a good
They're,
team.
next year they will definitely be a threat
If
to
they add,
compete
if they add,
for a conference championship.
not the way
They
they're going.
definitely can. They can
They need
stand to
another
add a
piece.
piece or
They need
two.
another piece. Yeah,
At what position?
I think their bigs are okay. I think they need another wing player. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna need a wing player that's a little bit better. I know they had a
And
guard
Thompson,
coming back who got hurt. What's his name? Ivy.
Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, he'll be back, but I think they need a wing player. You know what I'm saying? I think they need a wing, a better wing, but we'll see, man. They're a nice little squad, but like I said, as far as winning this series, no chance. They done in six, and if they lose this next game, they're gonna be done in five.
No,
So
they'll win. I mean, they damn near won the last game, and the
yeah,
Knicks
the Knicks
really
started
had
bullshitting.
control of it.
Yeah, when the
If you
Knicks
look
start
at it,
going to all that damn Jalen Brunson dribbling the damn air out of the ball, like man, come on, man.
hey man, don't disrespect Jalen Brunson like that, man. That
Well, I
boy can play
told y'all I
ball,
wasn't no
man.
damn superstar.
Shit,
No damn superstar. He's a star, but he's
shit.
not a superstar though.
The man averaging 30 points for a playoff career. Stop it.
I don't give a damn about that.
Hey, I don't give a damn my
Not a
ass.
superstar.
I don't give a damn my ass. He's definitely a star,
He
a
definitely is.
superstar.
We'll do that again after the season is over. We'll run down who the superstars are after the season. Y'all, that'll be coming. We'll be running down who the superstars are after the season. But let's talk about a superstar TV and podcasting personality. Got himself in a little
Lord,
trouble
Lord, Lord.
with the snow bunnies.
Is this our taking out the trash segment?
Man, we got to take out some trash, bro, because there's some real trash right here, bro. And as a matter of fact, he trash that he brought upon himself. Your boy Shannon Sharpe, of course, now looks like he's taking a little hiatus from ESPN with a little statement that he put out on yesterday on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Um, bruh, totally avoidable situation, but who you give most of the blame to?
Uh, okay, so I'm not absolving Shannon Sharpe for being foolish dumb about how he chose to handle his business. I'm gonna ask this question, and I want us to answer it later before but I'm gonna answer your question after I ask this question, and then we'll
Okay.
get back to it.
Okay.
So my question is it wrong for older men to date 19, 20-year-old women?
Oh, I can ask that. I can answer that now. No. Inherently,
Uh,
no. No.
we're gonna pose that to and get into that discussion. But and like I said, I'm not absolving Shannon for being an idiot and how he handled and managed this situation. But I don't care how foolish, how stupid someone may be, how careless they may be. No one, not one single person, deserves to be accused of rape if he didn't do it. Now, allegedly, these are all allegations. And if he did not rape this woman and everything that was their relationship and that's how they chose to handle their private sexual partnership, I don't like the fact that women get away with false accusations. That's the bigger issue to me than Shannon having sex with a 19-year-old and being stupid and dumb about it. That's the bigger issue to me.
I totally disagree completely. That an issue? Absolutely. The bigger issue is this damn near 60-year-old man putting yourself in a foolish ass situation like that. That's the bigger issue. That to me, you know what I'm saying? I don't at some point you have to have discernment about how you live your life and the things that you're doing in your life. And 54, I think, is what he was when he met her. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You're too old to be in a position like this. You know what I'm saying? It's some
Well,
position
you
in my
just
life at this
now
point. I'm not putting
you
myself in that position.
okay, but you just said it's not wrong to date.
Right. But
So if
I'm not gonna do it with no OnlyFans woman. I'm gonna
hey,
I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not going on OnlyFans paying for no pussy. I'm sorry. And I'm Shannon Sharpe.
did
I'm
he
not
meet her in
doing
OnlyFans? So I don't know all of the details. I know some of the details. I hadn't been
I
listening to
ain't
all
paying
the
25,000
podcasts
to cheat.
about it. That was a red flag. Red flag.
Red flag right away.
Red flag.
I'm
Flag on the
not
play.
doing it, bro.
15-yard penalty.
Flag on the play. You know what I'm saying? And then even the
Personal foul.
conversation she's putting out now. If you listen to her, anybody that listens to these conversations could tell something's wrong. Like she's probing for you to give certain answers. How the hell is a 54-year-old man falling for that? A 56-year-old man
I'm
falling for that?
listen. I am not going to disagree with anything you say about how foolish and stupid he handled this situation. I agree with all of that. Just me, finding out the situations and some of the information that I've happened to come across. Um, I can say this, and I don't like. I told y'all last night when we was on the call. I hate when we judge folks. Yeah, we can say that I wouldn't put myself in that situation. But if you do put yourself in that situation where you're dating someone younger and you have he's obviously trusting this young lady with the shit that he's saying to her and how he responded to some of the shit she was saying in the text messages, there was an obvious level of trust. Now,
Right,
how he did that, that's the foolish part to me. That's the foolish part. It's not the dating because we can all get wrapped up in somebody that
right,
maybe we shouldn't have gotten wrapped up in.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Maybe we tried to make a housewife a hoe a housewife.
right,
If you
right,
remember those old statements,
right,
don't turn a hoe into a
right.
housewife. That has happened. You know what I'm saying? And it will continue to happen. Um, but once we've gotten to that realm, right? We've crossed we've crossed that boundary. We've crossed that line, and we're in that relationship. Then he lost, and I don't know how, but he lost the the mindset that you need to be able to carry and conduct yourself so that you wouldn't find yourself in this situation. He obviously trusted this young lady to where he was open enough to say stupid shit or agree with stupid shit. I mean, hey, fellas, if you're out there and you dabbling around with the young hoes, if you my age, you dabbling around with 21, 22-year olds, You know what I'm saying? And you're the power dynamic, right? You got the bread, you got
Right.
the profile. You know that you're a high profile person. You got these millions and millions of dollars of um, million dollar contracts on the line. You
$100 million.
got something to protect. And this is where it gets foolish for me. Like, why ain't everything that you're saying? Number one, we ain't talking on the phone. We ain't sending text messages. Everything gonna be in person. You doing everything I ask, or we ain't doing it. I'll see you later. If it was supposed to be a transactional relationship, my
Right.
thinking was that when I first heard it, oh, this was just him. You know what I'm saying? Paying for the ass, and that's it. He was just had somebody who was flying out every now and then. I'm fucking you. You going on about your business. Obviously, this was a relationship.
Right.
This was more than
Of some
just
sort. Yeah.
yeah.
Like
This
it was
was
two
more than
years.
just
Yeah.
now. It may not have been a committed relationship. You may not have been, you know what I'm saying, in a we're monogamous relationship. But this was obviously somebody that you trusted enough to say the shit you were saying to her.
Right.
Now I don't know all the details of like she was going to his crib or if he was going to her crib when he was flying out, whatever. Did she move to Vegas? Didn't they say she moved to
Yeah.
Vegas? I
Right
thought I
after he
heard
did.
that.
Yeah, she did. That's what they're alleging, that he moved to Vegas, then she moved shortly after.
So and this is why I say it's a bigger issue than him being a fool for a hoe. Um, we just off the status and
I mean,
the
there's
way that the
another issue. I
lawsuit was
agree.
brought up.
I agree. That's another issue, but it's not the biggest issue. That
I
it's
disagree,
a
man,
issue,
because
but it's not the
I
biggest issue.
disagree. This is where I get angry with people that don't recognize this shit. This is how black men have been taken down for decades, for
Yeah,
centuries.
being stupid.
Sometimes, but hey, it don't matter. Being stupid, like I said, does not um, eliminate or excuse someone falsely accusing you of rape to where you're tearing down this person's his platform. You're tearing down this person's
But
character.
we're assuming
If
it's false, right?
right, I'm going, and this is what I meant to say before I got into that, is that I think that is a false allegation because number one, she moved, like you said, she moved to Vegas. If it was such a abusive relationship, you moving to where your abuser's at, and I get the whole Stockholm syndrome thing and all of that. Um, but you obviously was not in love with him. You could tell by some of the phone conversations and from the reports I'm hearing, she didn't take it to a criminal case. We know it's about the bread.
Right. Oh, yeah, we know
She was about the bread from the get go. From what people were saying, 25,000 a butt cheek. I don't even know how you calculate that, man.
that.
What is he
Especially when
stabbing one butt cheek and
especially when you ain't
stabbing the
really
other?
got no butt cheeks.
Yeah, you're supposed to go inside the butt cheek, right? You know what I'm
You
saying?
really
So
ain't
is
got no
that what
butt
that
cheeks.
is? How do you
Right.
divide the butt cheeks? You know what I'm saying?
And but I think the problem he's gonna have is in court of public opinion. Now all this other stuff is coming out. Like the thing I read this morning said when he was at FS1, he was accused of choking a female production assistant. All this stuff is about to start coming out now. You know,
Yeah, man, it's looking
oh,
bad.
it's just like, man, he settled that when they say for like hundreds of thousands of dollars because he choked the girl at FS1. You know what I'm saying? So it's one, man. My boy Shannon, boy, you got to move different when you trying to get that kind of bread, bro. I mean, I just
Hey, but if he got a pattern of choking,
right, he just choking hoes out here, dog. You know what I'm
choking
saying?
these
Like,
bitches, man, what's going on, Shannon?
I don't know, bro.
But yeah, I don't excuse his actions though. You know what I'm saying? You just you can't be that stupid. You can't be that stupid in this day and age. You can't be. It's just that's
And then here's the one I was
with
talking about.
everything you
This
got
is the one
going
I was
on.
talking about in 2010 too, where he stepped away from CBS. You remember when he had to leave CBS after he was accused of sexual assault? It's saying right here. You see what I'm saying? So now all this stuff is coming back up.
I ain't even seen that.
Yeah,
What they said happened in that situation?
they not. They just said, let's see, he returned to the network after the restraining order was lifted. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's just he got some behavioral things now that are coming up to where it's kind of like, damn, Shannon, you should just gave that hoe that $10 million or whatever she asked for and been done with it, bro.
Well, that's the thing. He did, and
He
when
tried
she
to,
saw
yeah.
Yeah, when the lawyer saw that he was, when it got leaked that he was getting that $100 million, that's when they were like, hell no. They was out.
Right,
They were in negotiations
right.
to settle the $10 million.
Yeah, because at this point he got to take it all the way. At this point, you know what I'm saying? He don't have a choice. It's got to go all the way wherever it's gonna go at this point.
Do do you agree with his strategy? Like, the old tried and true strategy of say nothing, let it all play out in court,
That
or
strategy, the Jay
the
strategy,
Jay Z strategy.
but the thing with the Jay Z strategy, bro, is
There was
they
no,
can't
there
have
was
no
no,
evidence.
yeah, there was
You know
no
what I'm saying?
fire to
Right.
the
You
smoke.
can't have evidence. He knew you had nothing. You can go on the offensive with the Jay Z strategy if you know there's nothing that can hurt you. Shannon, this girl got as much look like as much ammo as you got. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he probably would have been better off
Yeah,
not ever
he should
saying
have.
anything.
If he was gonna employ that strategy, knowing that there was a actual relationship, he should have had the full, like the tape he was alluding to on that
He would
the
have
statement
needed
he
the
made.
whole everything. Right?
He needed to release the whole. He needed to release
He
the
needed
whole
to
thing.
release everything at one time, get it all out there at once. This is the
Yeah,
kind of shit I be doing. Now, did he want to do that? No, obviously not, because he tried to settle in the beginning. So
right.
obviously he didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think at this point, dog, it's got to go all the way at this point. He don't have a settling it now. I don't think does him any good at this point. I just don't see how it does him any good. Now that it's all public like this, everybody know what you were into. You might as well take it to the mat now. You know what I'm saying? And see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get fired from ESPN.
Let's go to the mattresses, baby.
Go to the mattresses. Like, might as well, bro. Go to the mattresses, bro. Like, she done the
Leave the
damage. She
gun.
done
Take
the
the
damage.
cannoli.
Right. She done the
Yeah,
damage. She done the
it's
damage.
time to fire off now. And then you stepped out there, so yeah, you got to fire you and whatever evidence you got, and regardless of how damaging it is, you probably don't need to release it.
But judging by that damn NFL draft room last night, the snow bunnies is tempting as hell. I see. They can't seem to stay away once they get a little bread. I'm
They
just
not
saying.
gonna stay away. I
I'm
mean,
just saying. But I guess
so
it's a conversation for another day. But why
no,
is
no, no. Let's get
oh
into this
let's go
conversation here
then.
because
But
me and
why
my
is
wife
it,
got in.
bro? Okay, because it be
Man,
on
my wife,
my mind a
she
lot, bro.
was she was so heated. I just didn't even say nothing. I'm like, okay, but why is it that a lot of black women, you know what I'm saying, blaming black men for dating white women and saying that they wouldn't do the same thing? You know what I'm saying? Black women wouldn't put another brother out on Front Street like that. You know what I'm saying? They would have just took the L or kept it private. Wouldn't have taken you down through there like this white woman is. I didn't even and I get where she coming from because it does look like that you know what I'm saying, a lot of pro athletes
Especially if you was gonna
do
give the
deal
10
with white
kill. I
women.
think most black women would have took it and got on out the way. You know what I'm saying?
But what you see on social media, it's the same thing, man. And this is why, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know what the relationship is. It seems more than just a transactional, we fucking, you leave, you know what I'm saying? That's what I originally thought it was. You know what I'm saying? We having some relations. We might kick it every now and then, but then it's, you know what I'm saying? It's you out the way. It seemed like it was more of
It's kind
a,
of a side. I'm a side chick who get paid. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually your chick, but I get paid. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's kind of weird. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
but that's, yeah,
Kind of
yeah, I'm your chick, but I ain't your chick. You know what I'm saying? That
right,
time it was
right.
rather than I'm your beat down.
This is like I'm your fantasy chick. You can do all your
Yeah.
fantasies with me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what you
But
want me to do. You know what I'm saying? But
so in that vein, in thinking of the relationship in that matter, you know what I'm saying? We have pro athletes that are in relationship, real relationships.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you think about some of the stuff you see on social media and the dating pool, I can see why somebody of his nature don't want to deal with a woman in that nature where it's a totally exclusive, where there's not a supposed to be a line, a barrier, right? You know I ain't with you. You know what I'm saying? So we got this agreement. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw you some bread. We're gonna do what we do, and that's what it's supposed to be, right? You know what I'm saying? In most athletic relationships, it's not that boundary. It's we in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So when you deal with the woman in that manner, then yeah, you have a trusting relationship. Um, you have expectations of that person. They got expectations from you that you may not be willing to deal with at his age with that amount of money. You really just like, hey, it's about the sex and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at it from the dating pool and you have all these people on social media got all these expectations of what's supposed to happen in a relationship from a black man and what they want from a black man. Now, all they really want is what? What's all they really want? Do they want the relationship or what they looking for? They looking for the bread. So at the end of the day, it's the same. It don't matter if it's a white, black, Asian, Hispanic, because they most of them when they see somebody a high profile character, it's about the money
See, I'm
at
taking
the
it
end
up.
of the day. So if the
That's
relationship
not
don't
really
work
my
out,
question about it, though. That ain't really my question. I get that part about the money. We all know in the end, when it comes to these athletes, black, white, like you said, black, white, Chinese, don't matter. Asian, whatever. You know what I'm saying? German, whatever. It don't matter. It's about that.
yeah, it's
But
about the money.
but what is it that makes them choose the white one? Why is it that so many of them
But
seem
it
to?
don't always be the white one though.
But
You be seeing all kind of Hispanics. You be seeing Armenian, Kim Kardashian looking women. You know what I'm saying? It's all hey,
but
it's a
how
combination
are you
of
comfortable
a
with a woman
lot of them.
who? But how are you comfortable with a woman who you know if you didn't play ball probably wouldn't even give you a second look? How do you make
Hey,
yourself comfortable with that? Is
but
my
again, that's black too. So we just can't exclude it. You know what I'm saying?
but no, no,
You've
it's a
been to
different layer.
school.
Now come on,
You've
G.
been to
It's a different
college. You've
layer.
been to
It's a
college,
different
right?
layer to that, G. Come on, G. It's a different layer to that. And you know it. You know what I'm saying?
What's the layer?
This
Because
woman
I'm
might actually look at you with disdain, like, nah, I don't. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen people that ain't, and I've seen dudes that's not athletes, or you know what I'm saying, that's not well to do that got white
Where
women
she was walking down the
or
street,
Hispanic women.
that white woman would probably change sides of the street if it was just you and
So,
her.
which what white woman? A regular white woman or somebody that's got bread or that that has a certain aesthetic? Which what are you saying?
And
Because it's the same in our race too. Because you have bad bitches, top 10 type people that ain't fucking with nobody without no bread or clout or that's not an athlete. We seen that. And I ain't saying that's all black women, but that's just women. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, whatever race it is, they are looking for the come up. That's what I was getting to. And maybe I was taking it around the track or around the world with what my argument was, but it don't matter what the race is. Most, I ain't gonna say most women, but a lot of women are looking for the come up. And that come up could be the next lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's driving a Bentley. They may not be an athlete. You know what I'm saying? But they got the bread. A lot of women look for that. And in college, you see, okay, I'm finna date this athlete. I'm finna try to get in this relationship with this athlete. That's their main objective. Let
right,
me see if I can
right.
get married to this athlete that, you know what I'm
Put
saying,
out
is
3 children. Right, exactly.
exactly.
And if it
And
work, it
then when
work.
it
If
don't,
not, I'm straight. Right.
and then if it don't work out, what happens?
I get the check anyway.
Thank you.
I feel you.
So
Just man,
regard,
when I look at dudes like Tiger, and I'm just like, really, bro.
but see, Tiger grew up. You could tell Tiger wasn't from our element anyway. He was
Yeah,
already over there.
facts. That's facts.
We know black people that's like that.
That's a
They
fact.
already dating on the other side of the fence.
That's a fact. I feel you on that, bro. But man, it's a whole thing to get into because I think some of it got to do with the way the children gonna look. But we could take it a whole lot deeper, but we ain't got time to do it today. But I swear I think some of that's got something to do with it too. But I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. That's a topic for another day. You know what I'm saying? Want your children to look a certain way. So hey, that's what I'm gonna do. But that self-hate that's in some of us, we'll take it down on another show. You know what I'm saying? But hey, do not forget, people. That's all that we got time for today. But don't not forget to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Trash talking with the old heads. It's normally three of us. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Next week it'll be three of us again.
He
We
he
might
not playing like a champion, man.
not playing like
That's
a
it.
champion. We're gonna call him out again to lead the show today. He ain't playing like a champion at all.
He playing like Kawhi Leonard at this moment. Not Kawhi playing today. I'm talking about Kawhi in the last few years since he been in the Clipper uniform. He
Exactly.
injured, and then he ain't injured.
He ain't got no Michael Jordan in him at all. No Michael
He
Jordan
ain't
yet.
got no LeBron James in him. LeBron plays with a sprained ankle every now and then.
Right, especially with a cough. God damn. But
No
hey,
flu game.
we still holding it down though. Trash talking with the old heads, man. Until next week, man. We out of here. Thank y'all for the support. See y'all on next week.
Peace.